Okay. Just thought of something else that went down that I would like out there. Jen, remember after the court date when you played all those games with Sam and me and all that, and you were getting ready to get kicked out of your apartment? Before you made it to your apartment, your ride had two women that were very pissed off at you. Just in case you hear this, I'm going to speak like I'm addressing you because you know this for a fact that the person that kept you safe that day was me. It wasn't you, it wasn't Leslie. Even Leslie kicked you out of her car and made you walk, even though it wasn't far. Yeah, you were used to walking around that town anyway. It wasn't going to hurt you to walk from there to there. But anyway, also, when you made it back to your apartment, you had Leslie, Sam, Dex, and somebody else wanting to beat you up. Who came and got you? Me. Who took you to Wes's? Me. That was after I got Jazz out of there and made sure she was safe. And of course, you don't mention anything about that, do you? You say all this stuff about stalking, that you moved into places with bars on the windows because of me, which was all lies. You scared the living crap out of my daughter just so you could win her bond that you never worked on. Imagine that. Is that what you were so jealous over? The fact that her first words were daddy? The fact that she learned to walk with my hands and not yours? What's the matter? You had the shot. You kept blowing it. Remember that? Isn't that how she ended up in CPS's care? Because of you? Yes. And who didn't fight for her while she was there? You. You happened to pull a fast one, and you ended up somehow manipulating your way into getting her. And look what you've done to her. She's facing rape charges, and I know for a fact that you try and tell people that, oh, well, that must come from her dad. No, that comes from you. You know, you can sit here and manipulate your family and whatnot. I don't know how you're doing that because they know you. But you know damn well what you did that night at the party, the pool party that you begged to come to. You know damn well that after that night, me and you were done. And you snuck into that room, and you know damn well you did. I'm a dude. Don't you think if I was that type of dude, I wouldn't be saying things like this? I'd be over there chalking it up like it was some type of tally. Yeah, you know better than that with me. You can try and play me out to be somebody that I'm not all you want. You sat here and lied your ass off just to attack me over a situation you knew nothing about, which shows how vindictive you are just because you lost. You lost because you were not doing what you were supposed to do. You didn't lose because I did something to make you lose. You did it on your own. You had the upper hand and you still lost. Twice. Not once, but twice. You were the one that broke her leg. You did that. It wasn't me. That was the first time you stole her and went across state line. You tried to sit here and say that you and Michael were in this healthy relationship, and you were in the most toxic relationship that I've seen in a while. Pretty much like the ones that we're seeing on TV with the housewives. You're married to this man and you were pulling all those things? Wow. Would you think me and him weren't going to talk? See, I don't have to lie. The truth about what you have done is way worse than any lie I could ever imagine. And you know for a fact, I don't lie. Remember? That was one thing you liked about me. I was always straightforward. Imagine that. That's the same thing Tiffany said. I even have it on recording. Wow. Imagine that. All you had to do was be comfortable in the house and not do anything that was disrespectful or against us. And you couldn't do that. You had 3 rules to follow, just like she did, just like Bethany did, just like Yvonne did. Love, trust, and respect from both of us, or there's no relationship. You said okay and deliberately did everything against it. You want to sit here and talk about me? Huh. I put up with you. Your dad didn't want to put up with you, and that man is a saint for doing it. I ain't saying that just because he's a male. I'm saying that because that's the only person I've seen in your life that actually put up with you. Remember, you and your mother weren't talking. The only time you started talking is when you two were doing stuff behind my back. That's when you two started becoming friends. Imagine that, when two devious women are doing something wrong. You did the same thing. Every time I went to work, every time I did what I was supposed to, you always got devious and bored and would start doing things you should not have been doing. Even when you would talk me into going to jobs with me, what were you doing? I'm trying to work. You're over here messing with people and starting problems, doing things you should not have been doing. I mean, pretty funny if there were girls on the job and I was doing those things that you were doing. Would you be too happy with me? No, you wouldn't have. Exactly. And you know damn well I don't do that. You told your Uncle Charlie that I cheated on you? He even asked me to my face when I painted his living room and his kitchen if I did, because that's what you told him. Are you fucking kidding me? I've never cheated on anybody in my life. Ever. Yeah, we were not getting along there at the end of it. And yeah, Tiffany did ask me out. So did her other 2 friends, and so did a bunch of other girls. Every one of them was told no. Tiffany pursued me after me and you broke up. Yeah, after the incident with Brian, after the incident with my cousin Chris and my Aunt Lisa and my sister's ex, Mark, that just happened to be at my aunt's house for some reason. Yeah, they made it a point to call me on the phone and tell me that they were around my ex-girlfriend. And at first I was like, I don't care. And then I started thinking, why the fuck are you guys calling me out of the blue and trying to rub it in my face that you're with my ex-girlfriend? And it's not just an ex-girlfriend. We were engaged and we have a child together. Even though she played games to trick me into that, which, yeah, her sneaking into my room that night, she tried to play it off like she was pregnant, which I don't know how the hell she got pregnant. I don't even know what the hell happened. I woke up with somebody on top of me. She drops down to my chest and tells me if I touch her, she's going to call the police and say that I, beat her up. And I threw her off of me anyway. I told her to get her fucking clothes on and get back out in the living room. First thing in the morning, I borrowed, because I didn't have a car at the time. Mine was having work done. I borrowed a car and took her home because she lied to stay there that night. I was done with her that night after that party that she came to. And she was already on thin ice because she asked me for cigarettes because she didn't have any money while I was at work that morning. And I told her, sure, I'll bring a pack to you by lunchtime. She was working at the big Kmart. I actually stopped and got her a pack of cigarettes and flowers and went to her work. And I hid behind the candy rack. She was talking to a customer and the other sales associate talking bad about me, saying that she gave me money for cigarettes and if I don't get my ass there and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what the fuck? First of all, I offered you a pack of mine. You said no, which beggars can't be choosers. And that was a free pack of cigarettes and it's just not menthol. I don't smoke menthol. But anyway, I did all this for her, and this is what she's telling people when she didn't notice I was there. And the one cashier tried to warn her that I was behind the candy rack. And when I popped up, you should have seen her face. I dropped the flowers and the cigarettes and I gave her a look and I said, yeah, see you later. You know, pissed off, of course. I was still nice. I didn't like scream or yell or freak out. And I went to walk out and she come following after me, begging to still go to this party and all that. I said, you need to stop doing that. I know, I don't know why, just manipulating because she was caught. Anyway, I take her to this party and she goes into the hall bathroom to change. Okay. Now, I know damn well that door's shut because I made sure of it. I'm walking back and forth. I'm helping my, family put stuff out for the cookout. We're having like a, pool party, cookout, and all that. Everybody's here. And I walk out. I go to do that. I come back in. The bathroom door's open. She is topless, just standing there. So I tilt my hat down. I walk down the hall. I shut the door. And I walk away. I go back to helping out with the party. I figured, yeah, maybe it did just pop open. Come back in, the motherfucker's open again, and she's still topless. So I did it again. I walked down the hall and I shut it. Made sure that this thing clicked just like I made sure the last time it clicked. So I know the last time that I shut it, she definitely opened it. The first time I was a little unsure of. The second time I know damn well she opened it. The third time she opened it again and did the same thing. How long does it take you to put a bathing suit on? And why do you keep opening the door to where everybody can see you in the mirror? What the fuck are you doing? I didn't say this to her, I'm just thinking it. Now I walked down, I shut it for the last time, and I said, look, are you almost done? She said, oh yeah, the door just keeps coming open on me, which there was nothing wrong with that door. I said, okay, well, hurry up. So she comes out, I go and get dressed, I come out, and she's flirting with my best friend and my brother. And I said, oh, hell no, man. And I told her, I said, after this, you need to go back home and we're done. And she acted like she was talking to her mom and her dad. She played it off that they lived together and that they were fighting and had locked her out so she had nowhere to go. And I told her she could sleep on the couch and I would take her home in the morning. And that's how she ended up at the house. Oh, it pissed me off. And then she lied to me, tried to say that she took a pregnancy test and that she was pregnant. I mean, I didn't know. I was just, my head was spinning. So I thought, you know, And she didn't do it the next day. She waited a while. She waited like a couple weeks, almost a month, 2 months, around there. And I don't know why my dumbass believed her, and she manipulated me back into a relationship. Then she ended up pregnant with Jazz. But she was also messing with one of my best friends, Josh Murray. Yeah.